So I actually had to go to Rule King to get a longer set of bolts for the throttle body spacer because the ones that came with it were not the correct bolts. These are M6 by 1.0. So I'm just showing you now the difference between the one on the left that came with the kit, which is like the factory ones, and then the one on the right. And then this is just basically with the throttle body spacer installed. I'm trying to hold it open so you can see it inside, but I'm having a difficulty doing it with one hand, so eventually I get it here. Okay, finally I got it. A little bit of a shot what it looks like back in there. You see a little bit of the throttle body spacer and how it brings air in, and it's supposed to help direct it in a more of a swirling motion. AFE cold air intake came in. There was some concerns that I had one of the bolts that bolt the adapter from the actual metal housing to the main tube. Right here I'm pointing at them. They're the 3 small Allens. One of the washers was missing, not a big deal. This washer that you're looking at on the bottom of the screen right there is the one that I actually had to replace out of my box. No biggie, not a big deal. The one thing I didn't like about the kit was that when you actually get to the PCV tubing further up, it actually does not fit on the factory intake. They don't build the ribbing and stuff so you can just plug everything back in completely. So I actually had to take another piece of line that I had, more of a an oil type line, oil rated line with some braiding, and I ended up cutting the end of it off and then opening it up some so it would fit on the cold air intake from AFE. And then I took the factory PCV tube off, split the end of it, and cut the part that goes into the plastic tube on an angle, and then fitted it up on the hose as it goes down. I was trying to make it look as professional as possible. So that ended up working out real good. It was a little bit of a fight to get it in there, so I may have to actually upgrade that line to a bigger size line soon. There was one more thing I'm trying to remember. There was, oh yeah, the bolt that was in the front of the AFE box right behind the headlight. It says that there's supposed to be a 3rd bolt there, but on my car that bolt is actually not there. I actually had to pull up on the harness a little bit to give it a little bit more room so the mass airflow sensor could actually clip in properly without the wires being stressed too much. So what I did was I pulled the actual wiring harness away from the plastic tab that mounts to the little metal piece so I could have more room and it wasn't stressed so much. And then you can see the little plastic tab right there where I'm pointing. I pulled it away from that so I had a little bit more room. So yeah, this is the install. Everything's there. The throttle body spacer, we're going to get it on the dyno and stuff. ADTR, they have, oh, I'm showing you right here just the little bit of threads that are sticking out. So I ended up getting a perfect size bolt actually. ADTR is sending me the plenum that goes to the intake manifold. So we're going to swap. So we're going to swap the plenum out as well to run it with everything. A little bit bigger, a little bit more finer touched and polished, ported to match the throttle body better. All the factory like mold lines and stuff going out of there and cleaned up. And then we'll run it as well and we'll see what we got. Right now my focus is basically getting this as clean as possible with the basic mods to show you guys what's possible with these things. A lot of people say a cold air intake is not going to do anything. A throttle body spacer is not going to do anything. A throttle body is not going to do anything. You might be right individually. You may 100% be right. But when you take all these things and you put them together and everything's opened up, everything's flowing better, you're going to make power. That's a given. I mean, I've done enough testing on a dyno to say, okay, just a cold air intake by itself typically doesn't really raise all that much power and stuff, depending on how the factory restrictive it is. But when you start doing a throttle body spacer, a throttle body, cold air intake, plenum type work, and then you put full exhaust system and stuff on a car, you're talking about night and day difference right there. You're gonna make power. And you know, you have your guys that are stuck up and they have egos and it's all about boost or nothing. But that's okay, they have their opinion too. We'll just show the facts. Oh. Yeah, turns the tires over pretty easy. Just turn the traction control off and see what happens. The tone is just way better. As soon as it hits like 30 mile an hour, it's got like this extra like little push to it. Like before, like I'll try to grab a shot of the video with wide open throttle before, you can really hear the air intake open up, and it's got like this little bit of a push. It almost like it picks up like a different power band, almost like a little VTEC segment or something like that. It's really odd. It's like right off the bat, you don't feel it. The throttle response is there, but then right at about 30 mile an hour, it goes, whoa, and it's like it reacts different. Maybe it's a certain volume of air or something coming in that it didn't have before. Watch. See? That's crazy. And then I have to get on the brakes, so the brake fluid is all shifting. It's like howling from the air box. It's crazy. That's way different. It's actually hitting the rev limiter faster now that I have it programmed in there. It's actually, as it's bouncing off of it, it's catching it quicker. Yeah. I don't know. We're going to have to put it on the dyno and actually get some real numbers out of it. I'm pretty excited about something stupid like this. It may not have even done nothing, but it seems like as soon as you hit that 25, 30 mile an hour, it almost gets like into like a little, like another power band, and then the tires actually start to turn over a little bit, and then it just catches. Who knows? Boys and their toys, right? Y'all be blessed.